Fucking hell, man.
I'm finished.
Liverpool Football Club, in the gulag you go. This has gone too far now. This has become egregious. I'm sure you're wondering why I've got my headphones on when I don't need them on in a situation like this. Nobody was wondering that actually now. It's because I don't even want to hear the words that come out of my own mouth. We were 2-0 up against Leeds United, fighting to stay in the division, you would argue. They've been relatively impressive. They'd just come off the back of beating Chelsea, but we're 2-0 up. We draw 3-3 in the 96th minute. We are 9th in the league, and Mo Salah is having a public dispute with our manager. This is falling apart, fam. The whole thing, fam. What has football even been on since we came back from the last international break? The different sports I have got to come up with instead of watching football are inexcusable now. Reverse Taiwanese backstroke freestyle, 100 meters flip-flap angling this week. Ugandan female above 25, ostrich neck swiveling this week. Of course, we have to... Guys, I don't think you understand. This is a serious situation. The croquet stick, fam. And again, this can be used as a source of violence, okay? Liverpool Football Club, don't test me. We'll talk about Mo Salah in a second, right? But we'll start with the Leeds United game. We're 2 goals up after a pretty okay-ish first half. Hugo Ekitike scores a brace in the space of a couple of minutes right into the second half, and things look calm. Hugo, of course, who started brilliantly at Liverpool before being moved aside for British transfer record fee, Alexander Isak, after his move from Newcastle. Now, of course, it makes sense as to why Isak's coming into the team. I think we've, of course, realised that we can't play both of them at the same time, seemingly, and so Ekitike made way. Isak has been underwhelming, and Ekitike's had to watch on the sidelines. He's come back in, he scored a brace, except the issue is Agent Konate over here got left to his own devices without a TA to look after him. He looks at Wilfred Gnonto staring at nothing but the byline and decides that it's time to Batista bomb him inside the area. This is, pound for pound, one of the stupidest penalties I have ever seen given away in any sport whatsoever. Any sport that can have a penalty. They got penalties in hockey, right? They got penalties in rugby. I've seen enough stupid penalties in Formula 1.
I am stupid.
But this one is actually egregious. Where is bro going? Ask yourself that. This man's brain is powered by one single AA battery.
I'm not saying you're the dumbest person in the world, but you better hope the dumbest person in the world doesn't die.
By the way, lads, if you want to help my mental health, drop me a follow over on Twitch. I'm going to be streaming tonight, ranting about this and the rest of the Premier League's action. It'll be well worth it, I promise. I just don't understand what is going on here. I was speaking to the boys from Wafflenomics, great podcast, you should check that out. The likes of Jem and Tripp, yeah, and Tripp said that his head is powered by a hamster wheel, and I don't understand what went through his brain in that situation. If you want to block the cross, by all means do it. It ain't happening, the ball's going out. But if you want to block it, fine. But why are you crunching into him, bro? It's actually bewildering. It has to be an inside job. There's no other explanation. I know he's got one ACL to his name, but please put Leone in this team, Arne Slot. Leone, if you're watching, yeah, I'll donate you the one knee that I've got. It's not a very good one either. I don't want to get your hopes up. It's crazy. The ball is dribbling out of play, but Konate's the one doing the dribbling here. You've got to use 4 brain cells in that situation maximum, man. I can't actually believe it. Arne Slot then comes out and talks about Ibrahim, a con artist here, and says that too often he's near the scene of the crime. Bro, he is the crime. Yeah, the goal, the penalties, the goals don't happen if he's not there at the scene. I can't deal with this anymore. Like, I know we've got, like, no centre-backs to speak of. We can't really replace him right now. But this is genuinely, don't renew his contract. Just allow it. Let it expire. Tear it up in the dressing room after the game's done. And to be fair, I don't want it to seem like this is just an attack on Ibrahim Konate, but we're 2-0 up and cruising to a win against the side that's going to be in a relegation battle this season. Calvert-Lewin then actually scores the penalty, and Leeds then score again a couple minutes later. To be fair, again, Konate is not the only player that needs to look at himself. The goal that Leeds score, the second one, is far too easy, like actually mental. Dominic Szoboszlai gives us the lead back. Himself and Hugo Ekitike are the only 2 players that can really pride themselves on what's happened, but it's not enough because Leeds then score again in the 96th minute because defensively, we couldn't keep a clean sheet if we were living with a nun. Defensively, as I said, we're bad. Virgil van Dijk looks shaky alongside Konate. Our wing-back situation, Connor Bradley, bless him, is trying his hardest, but he's not Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I think that's really affecting how we're playing, generally speaking. Our wing-backs and their crossing is nowhere near as good. I know he scored from a cross in this game for Ekatike, but we're not creating anywhere near as many chances as we used to when we had Trent and Robbo starting every game. Wirtz has now gone 007 twice outside of Germany, and honestly, this is what Arne Slot's side would look like if he was allowed to sign every single legend possible, even the ones at the top of the stairs. I don't know what Cody Gakpo has on this man. He's light skinned, so it means he's half white. Arne Slot's his dad. It's the only explanation. And whilst Arne Slot's probably looking at the mess around him, feeling depressed, he also has a lot to answer for as well. Seemingly the worst problem that he has is with Mohamed Salah. Because Mo, after the game, went and chatted to journalists, and he was not happy whatsoever. Saying he's not sure what happened. He had a great relationship with the manager, and now he doesn't have a relationship with Arne Slot at all. It's seemingly that it's very obvious to someone that doesn't want him at the club. Saying he's done a lot for this side, and, you know, being benched 3 times in a row basically is pretty disrespectful. He feels like he's being disrespected, feels like he's being frozen out, and really damning words, feels like he's been thrown under the bus by Liverpool Football Club. This is a mess. This is also such a random thing, by the way. He's just gone up to some next Venezuelan journalist who didn't even expect him to talk and just blurted all of this out to them. So, Mo, a pretty rough day for Liverpool out there today. What are your thoughts? Fuck that bold prick. He ain't brought shampoo since '08. I ran over his cat the other afternoon. It was absolute chaos. Dominic Szoboszlai had just done his post-match presser, yeah, and had been like, yo, what happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. Fam Dad did not even come close to staying in the dressing room, bro. That was out of the dressing room within 4 minutes. I just know that if Darwin Núñez was still at this football club, he'd be doing the meanest dot to dots in the background whilst this was all kicking off. Do we reckon Milos Kerkez has even found out the news yet? I honestly would be surprised. And look, listen, Mo Salah has not been his usual self during the course of this season. It's been well documented. I've said that he should have been dropped in a previous video. But does he have a point here? I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm getting dropped 3 times in a row, and I'm seeing Agent Konate and HS Tiki Toki start every game since, I would kick off. I'd be the exact same. I'm out of there, mate. How can I be made into the scapegoat in that situation, being dropped 3 times in a row? Now, I get it, right? Again, Mo Salah has been poor, and we're going to talk about this now in a bit more detail, yeah? Because I know there's going to be people that are going to be saying, Niran, you said he should be dropped. It's clearly Mo Salah's problem. He's clearly too sensitive. Why are you now backing him over the fact that he's been dropped 3 times in a row? The thing is, right, there's a way to drop someone. I wasn't necessarily, and you know, in a joke I made in FTW, I was like, oh, we dropped Salah and we won. Coincidence? I think not. Obviously, I don't actually think that. Mo Salah is not the single reason we've been bad this season, and I've said there's been many reasons, even in this video. The fact that our wing backs aren't as good going forward anymore. The fact that we can't press as efficiently. We don't look physical enough in midfield. Our centre backs have been awful in comparison to the usual, and not many of those things certainly are Mo Salah's fault. I think there is a chance that Mo Salah is washed. I think there is a chance that we've seen the absolute peak of Mo Salah. But what I would say is I think he's accumulated more than enough brownie points to be able to give him the benefit of the doubt. I tweeted suggesting that, like, realistically we have to choose Mo Salah in this situation over Arne Slot, and there's nuance to that. You've got a manager who's failing every week to bring the best out of the majority of his players. It's not just Mo Salah. If we were looking at Liverpool are second in the league, 3 points off Arsenal. We're basically where Aston Villa are. We're playing well, but Mo Salah's the only one in bad form. Obviously, it's on Mo Salah to pick things up, and it's on him if he's coming out in the media and trying to derail stuff. We are playing badly as a unit. There are now a lot of other players in that team that deserve to be dropped. This is a man, let's not forget, who has legendary status at Liverpool now. He's one of our top goal scorers in the club's entire history, and he's won 2 Premier Leagues in the modern Premier League era. He's won the Champions League. He's basically won everything there is to win at Liverpool. We have to pay him some level of respect, even when things get tough. At the end of the day, yes, I was calling for him to get dropped, and I stand by that. I do think he should have been dropped, but there's a way to be dropped, and if he feels like he's getting frozen out of the team, if he feels like he's getting disrespected by the manager and maybe other people at the club, that's a totally different concept to him just being benched for a week. That's not the same thing. A lot of people are saying that it's on the players, but I would disagree. I'm going to be honest, I disagree, and there's the stats that show and there's the stats that prove that, in my opinion. 4 wins in 15 in all competitions since that time. We failed to score in the first half of 10 of our 15 league games this season. We've thrown away a 2-goal lead 4 times this season, and we've got 15 wins in our last 33 games. That, of course, includes the end of last season as well. But I think something that's even more damning is the fact that Virgil van Dijk has, well, certainly before the most recent game week, had the most clearances of any player across all of the top 5 footballing leagues. Now, I saw a tweet about this, and basically it went through, come the end of a season, who had the most clearances of any player over like the last 6-7 years, right? None of these players finished above 10th in the league. Right, so these are teams that ultimately, I think half the seasons were relegated, fighting against relegation or finished mid-table. So the fact that Virgil van Dijk is the man with the most clearances this season, that is a fundamental system error. With the squad that we have, with the players that we have, we should not be in a position where Virgil van Dijk is having to do quite that much work. Arne Slot has gone from getting the most out of some players to getting the least out of pretty much all of them. And I think that's why ultimately we do need to listen to Mo Salah. Now, Mo Salah is not the future of Liverpool Football Club, right? How old is he right now? Is he 33, 34? If he has a fall off this season and it continues till the end, there's a chance he's gone. But you sure as hell won't find me back in a manager that has us 9th in the league with the squad that we have over a Liverpool legend. You just won't see that from me. Either way, this is a fucking mess. Like, this has opened Pandora's box. It's not even just like we're bad at the moment because we fucking stink. Now we've got actual civil unrest amongst big players at the club. This is gonna get messy. This is gonna get problematic, and it's not going to get solved anytime soon. Arne Slot, I have so much respect for him for coming in last season and winning the league. But I do wonder at what point we've got to say, wrap this one up, man. We've got to keep things moving. Because if things carry on like this, we're not even going to get into the Champions League, lads. I know we're not that far away from the top 4 right now. The table's condensed. No one's actually that good, seemingly, this season. But everyone at this football club has got to look at themselves. The players have got to look at themselves. Mo Salah himself has got to look at himself. I said self far too many times there. Konate looks like he's only just discovered what shin pads are. Arne Slot's puzzling me with some of his decision making. Pour one out for Federico Chiesa. I don't know what he has to do to get some game time. I genuinely don't. You know, give someone like a Chiesa a chance, an Endo. Joe Gomez should have come into the side down the right significantly earlier than he did. Rio Ungamoa. Just try some shit, because what's happening right now is not working. It's getting me vexed, man. I can't do this anymore. And look, I know I'm a Liverpool fan, man. It's woe is me, get me. Like, I'm not trying to say life is depressing as shit, right? But as an institution that strives for winning things now, strives for winning leagues, strives for winning silverware, got to switch up. We've got to fix up. This manager, for me, he's got one more game in his locker. I honestly think he's got one more chance when it comes to a bad result. If we go and draw our next game, or if we lose heavily, or we just look appalling again, I think it's a wrap, man. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, man. One like is like just a reason, like a will for me to live. Subscribe if you're new, all that jazz. I'll see you next time for some more ranting, probably, because we're gonna fucking lose again.